shrinking forests, expanding deserts, falling water tables, eroding soils, disappearing species, rising temperature, ice melting, more destructive storms, rising sea level. There are a long list of physical signs of environmental stress.
Changes to the chemistry of the oceans, changes to the chemistry of the atmosphere, population change, changes in economics, changes in technologies, the fact that most of the fisheries are now fully exploited, the fact that we're projected to lose 10 to 30% of all mammals, birds, and amphibians on the planet this century. Huge changes to the biological fabric of the planet. The planet.
The signs are very clear. The environment is not very healthy in many ways, and the signs are very clear. It's also due to our activities. All right, that's a pretty depressing message. But there now are a lot of people who are thinking about how can we improve the health of the planet, how can we improve our own health and well-being at the same time. So I think the point now is not that this is a depressing message. This is a wake-up call. But when you consider what's happening to our environment, how we're eating into the capital of the earth, if you like, how we're using ecosystem services without valuing them properly, we are in fact affecting the services that we depend upon for our life support system. In the past, if we screwed up where we lived, we could move. We moved to new lands. We moved elsewhere. It's very important to remember that we're in a much different situation. We must remember that we cannot move anymore. There's no new land on this planet. It's all been inhabited. The seas are now almost completely used, and yet we all want to consume more. We all want to live in a wealthier way. But we must remember there is only one single planet, and it has its limits. Limits.
I mean, when we talk about scarce resources, we're talking about grain, we're talking about oil, we're talking about water, we're talking about forest products. I mean, you can go down the line. We've not had to deal with global scarcity for so many commodities on a long-term basis. I mean, there have been occasional scarcities for one reason or another, but not as systemic.
If we do business as usual with 9 billion people like we do now, and let's say China and India would have the same consumption standard as Sweden or Portugal and so on, when this planet would simply explode.
We use about 20% more than what nature can regenerate. And people say, how is it possible? How can we use more than what nature regenerates? But actually, it's the same. How is it possible to spend more money than we earn? It's possible for some time. We can pump water out of the ground more rapidly than it's being replenished. We can fish more rapidly than fish is being restocked. Switzerland, where I'm from, the average Swiss uses about 5 global hectares. The average American about 9.5. If really the developed world would be the model, if everybody lived like us, it would take 5 planets to maintain the resource throughput. Now, that cannot be the goal.
Climate change is one of the greatest threats we face today.
Global warming is too serious for the world any longer to ignore its danger.